someone has fallen from a height, usually more than twice their height is a fairly sensible rule of thumb as to when you're working out. And also if there was any force behind them. So, if I start here, you would suspect a spinal injury here if someone has fallen from more than twice their height, or if they've been pushed and fallen with force. If something heavy has fallen onto them. If they've been involved in some sort of a road traffic accident, car accident, either in the car or being hit by anything at speed. If they've been doing any form of combat or contact type sport, much more likely this guy than this one. Or if they have a head injury, think spinal injury. And if any of those apply, the most important thing of all is don't let them twist. So you can walk into casualty having broken your neck, and that can just be bony damage. We can fix bones. The problem is that if the bones are damaged, they're unable to support your spinal cord sufficiently. And if somebody went, "Oh my goodness, are you all right?" And you went, "Oh, sorry, what?" That is when your spinal cord can be horrendously damaged and you can end up paralysed. So what you are doing as a first aider is being very cautious and preventing any further damage. So if somebody is conscious and you are worried about a spinal injury because they have fallen from a height or they've been hit by a car, rule of thumb, about 30 miles an hour, roughly, is a definite, oh my goodness, we need to be very cautious, but you're going to be cautious anyway. Or any form of major trauma, so you're watching rugby or whatever, you're going to be cautious. If they're conscious, you're going to keep them completely still, support them like that. If they're writhing around and fighting you, then don't battle with them. But plead with them very carefully and explain why you would like them to keep still. But if they are compliant, then you would keep them still. Cover, you'd be supporting like that, but don't cover their ears because they need to be able to hear you. And you would keep them warm, keep them dry, and get the paramedics on the way. If they are unresponsive but they are breathing, you will still need to put them in the recovery position, otherwise they will die. So if you have lots of other people there, you would do this. You would log roll them into the recovery position. There you go. So if somebody has fallen from a height, okay, and they're lying there, you want to check first of all whether or not they are responsive, whether or not they're breathing. If you've established that they are unresponsive but breathing, you get other people to help you. You support their head and neck, don't cover their ears. You straighten them out slightly because it makes it easier to do, but do not let them twist. And then the other people come along and they put their hands over the top to roll them over. So they will put their hands over the top like that, over the top like this, supporting all the way along. Overlap the hands if you can, because it makes it much better support as you're going over. And then the other person, the third person, will be guttering the leg. So what you want them to be doing is you are supporting the head and neck like this, and they're guttering under here so that when you are rolling them over, you're keeping the entire spine in line. Okay? So what you would do is say, is anybody not ready? What you've done first of all is you've put something to roll them onto. If you remember, check the pocket that you're rolling them onto for mobile phone or keys, because you can get a pressure sore and it can make things much harder to recover from. People say, oh, pressure sores, well, that's not the most important, but it can cause further complications. So if you remember, it's great. If you don't, then so be it. Support the head and neck like that. Other people are all lined up like this. You would say, is anyone not ready? 1, 2, 3, roll. You would be going over, 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 over. Somebody else will be supporting the lower part of the body. Somebody else has already phoned for an ambulance. Someone else is checking that they are breathing with the back of their hand. And you would not let go of their head and neck until the paramedic's hands are on top of yours. You are keeping them alive, you're keeping the airway open, and you're not making anything worse. Right? And you'd also keep them warm.
What if you're on your own? How could you do that?
I'm going to show
Oh,
you.
okay.
I'm going to show you. So you would roll them over like that, supporting them like that. Check the back for any other major bleeds or injuries. So you'd be double checking that. And then most important, you keep supporting and somebody else is checking that they are breathing. Is that okay? Does that make sense? But you're absolutely right, if you're on your own, it makes it a lot more difficult.